a set of two brothers who are speakers, and because of their many engagements, we needed to move them up sooner into the agenda so they can get on to their next appearance.
Move over there anyway.
So would you welcome, please, Francis and Patrick Mim.
Dear George Bush, we'd like to talk to you about the war in Iraq. Every day in the news we hear about the suffering and death of American soldiers and Iraqi civilians. It makes us feel really sad and want to turn off the news. We'd like you to spend one day with a poor Iraqi family or an American wife who lost her husband in the war. Experience their fear and sadness. It seems that as great of people as we are, we can find better and more peaceful ways to solve our conflict. It just takes some time and imagination. We want our tax money to go toward helping people and not hurting them. Please think about what we have said and let us know what you will do to end the war in Iraq as soon as possible. Sincerely, Francis Mem and Patrick Mem.
Of Evelyn Nadeau, speaking on behalf of the Dennis Kucinich campaign.
Thank you, Art. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Very close. Okay. Good morning. It's great to see all of you out here. For those who don't know me, I'm Evelyn Nadeau, and I've been involved with the Peace and Justice out on the Monday vigils. But today I come before you speaking on behalf of the Dennis Kucinich campaign in Iowa. Our staff person, Marcos Rubenstein, is not able to be here because he's at the Chicago Peace Rally. So he speaks off the cuff. I'm not able to do that, so he wrote something for me, which I will present for you. Even before President Bush ordered the war against Saddam Hussein's regime and the occupation of Iraq, Congressman Kucinich organized the opposition to the war in Congress and spoke all over the country in various public venues, trying to stop a war that he knew would be an incredibly deadly mistake. He warned then that this war was based on lies on top of other lies, predicated on fear and the lack of courage of many in Congress to vote against the war. He knew then, as we all know now, that President Bush and Vice President Cheney were lying about the weapons of mass destruction and were lying when they suggested that Iraq's regime was involved in 9/11. We all know now that this war was about oil, that it was to have those oil companies that are part of Cheney's inner circle control and profit from the exploitation of Iraq's oil. The proposed law that purportedly distributes the profits of oil exploitation between the different ethnic groups in reality gives 90% of these profits to these same oil companies. And still there are some that insist that this outrageous contract should be signed as part of any plan that would allow the redeployment of our troops. Today, when we know that our soldiers are not defending America but are being used as an army for the interest of the oil companies, there are still some that insist that American military bases should remain in Iraq. And while bases remain there, we will be enmeshed in a war without end. We need a complete redeployment of all American troops and of all mercenaries on the U.S. payroll in a speedy and orderly way. And to accomplish this, we need to actively seek the support of the Islamic countries of the region and indeed of the whole international community. And at the same time that most Americans are demanding an end to the Iraq occupation, the administration is actively planning an attack on Iran that will lead us into a new war and an indefinite occupation of Iraq. A little more than a week ago, on Thursday, October 18th, Congressman Dennis Kucinich said, by raising the specter of a possible World War III predicated on Iran's nuclear energy ambitions, the White House rodeo cowboy has gone dangerously too far and precipitously too close to igniting the war he claims to be trying to avoid. You can worry about the apocalypse, or you can ensure it by manipulating intelligence and with premeditation, put your finger on the trigger that will make Iran the next deadly domino in the president's irresponsible and irrational approach to the complex and sensitive political issues that make the region a more volatile tinderbox than ever before. Kucinich further stated, the president told the media yesterday that this wasn't his first rodeo. It's also not the first time he's invoked the potential of another world war to bolster support for his monumentally failed foreign policy. Any leader who, either off the cuff or intentionally, conjures up rodeo analogies to defend himself is far beyond colorful, albeit inarticulate aphorisms. Those horsemen he pridefully alludes to are not from a rodeo. They are the horsemen of the apocalypse, and he must be stopped before unleashing them. Kucinich went on to say, if the president continues policies that fuel the extremists in Iraq because of our continued occupation, and if he continues rallying support in Congress for possible aggression against Iran, he is purposefully fulfilling his own prophecy and sentencing this nation and its brave sons and daughters to a war that never ends, and a newer, bigger war that will even be more horrific. Kucinich noted that the leadership of the Democratic Party has failed to curtail the president's war policies. Members of Congress who supported anti-Iran measures or did not challenge them, and presidential candidates who failed to understand the gravity of the situation and speak out, are, as Dennis says, in dereliction of their duty to the United States of America. And that, concurrent with that, has to be creation of an international security and peace-keeping force that would move in as our troops leave. We very, very quickly, we should also not take impeachment off the table. If the leadership of Congress, if the attack on Iran is authorized, then Congress should put that impeachment up for a vote. Our representatives in Congress should not be afraid that confronting this administration could cost them re-election. Fear is not a basis to run a government in a democracy. Strength through peace. Thank you.
Evelyn Nadeau for Dennis Kucinich.
How do we justify it? Lies, lies, and more lies. We don't lie. We stand here to tell the truth. We want peace, but we won't get it now. But the work we have to do to get it is simple. And it's hard, and it's consistent. What it is, it's to fill out the postcards we have today, make the phone calls on Monday, and to continue to stay in contact with peace organizations, both locally and around the world. We can stop this war. We can prevent the next war. Those are the things we have to do immediately, and the way we do it, take that green sheet of paper, read through the phone dialogue there, call your representative, call your congressman, and call your senator. If you haven't done it, it's a scary, scary thing to do, but once you do it, you feel so good. And once you do it a second time, you feel better and it's easier, and once you do it by the third time, it's a wonderful thing to do. So we need to have you make those phone calls, we need to have you fill out the postcards. We will mail the postcards to, excuse me, we have a visitor today. I think it's the Prince of Peace. What a vision. What a dream. Okay, it's a start. It's a start. Thank you. That wasn't planned. So what we do need to have you do is fill out the postcards. We will hand deliver the Iowa ones to Harkin and Braley's offices on Monday and Grassie's office on Tuesday. If you're from Illinois or from Wisconsin, we will have envelopes and we'll put the stamps on and we'll mail them for you probably on Monday. We need your help, we need the postcards, we need the phone calls, and thank you for being here. And thank you to Lori. Lori is the person responsible for this, and she wants to say a few words too, I think.
Yeah.
Well, no. Just wanted to say the postcards are over there at the table. If you could please fill them out, we'd appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Is a discussion, and we need real debates. You know, the thing that keeps us from getting together that keeps people in this country from getting together, people in this town from getting together, is fear. Fear of one kind or another. And you know what the opposite